All right, what's going on, guys? We're back with another Dokkan battle video, and today we've got some news on the Memorial Dragon Stone. So I'm getting to this very late, right? And I'll throw that out there right now. Very busy day, so finally getting to sit down, go over this stuff, and really just wanted to make sure to get this out there in case you haven't heard about it yet. I mean, I'm sure you guys have. At this point, it's because I said it's later in the day, but I'm doing my due diligence to make sure I put out the information as well, just in case some of y'all might just like to hear my voice instead, you know. So, Memorial Dragon Stones, they are coming back. A lot of people were a little bit worried that they might not because of the way that the schedule kind of moved around, right? So, they took worldwide, made it the Global Dokkan campaign, and stuck it in the spot of the typical global anniversary. And now they're taking the Tanabata celebration and they're moving it to the old worldwide spot and just renaming it something else. So that's gonna be the next like major celebration that comes up in September. So this is something that they even mentioned in here, the treasure item Memorial Dragon Stone as a gift in the new campaign starting in September. So that means this is going to be used during that celebration. All right, so the treasure item, the Memorial Dragon Stone 6, is something that you can get for every 50 Dragon Stones that you spend throughout an entire year period, right? So starting from, they even give the period here, so starting from August 20th, 2024, all the way until August 21st, 2025, right? So this is still actually going to be counting towards your total count until the 21st of this month. So if you're still spending stones, if you're still summoning, if you're doing whatever, you're still going to be adding more towards your total overall count for the Memorial Stone for this year. Basically, you are going to be able to use these stones for summon tickets for specific banners, or to just outright buy a character from the Baba shop, right? In order to do that, you need to have at least 150, which is still quite a few stones you got to spend throughout the year. But I think majority of people will probably be around that, right? With the amount of like crazy stuff we've had already this year, I'm sure people have just been summoning. Free-to-play players, like strictly free-to-play players, might have a little bit harder of a time to get enough Dragon Stone or enough of the Memorial Stone to outright buy a character. But I think a majority of players will have it enough to at least do one. And if you don't, you can trade them in for tickets on a banner that will be available during the new Tanabata celebration, right? Because it's typically open for the worldwide. So yeah, once they start giving these out, you'll kind of understand how many you got, how many stones you've kind of spent throughout the year. You know, this goes from anything from summons to stamina refresh to rebuilding your hidden potential. Like all that stuff gets counted and accumulated into the total count here for the Memorial Stones. So basically, once we get these, you know, starting in September, we'll be able to see kind of what the character list is going to be, what the banners look like, and what we can really look forward to with what kind of, you know, things we can spend our stones on. Ideally, these are the old banners, right? So it's usually split up into two separate banners. The Golden Week guys are usually like the headliners here. So I think for this year, it's not going to be the Goku and the Hit, right? Because that's this year's Golden Week. Usually it goes by the previous year. So what is that? Fat Boo and Super Saiyan 3 Goku will be kind of like the headliners of the banner, but they're not going to be the most recent ones on the banner, right? So if we look at this one here, so we got Goku. I mean, this one adds in Kale and it adds in Turles. You go look at this one and it goes all the way up to Super 17 and it goes up to the Super Saiyan Trunks. Now, usually for this, the cutoff is a little weird. So because Global and JP were always separated, right? The unit was always the same, but the cutoff time was different because the unit came out at a weird time on Global versus JP. So basically, if you go off the JP timeline, the character that we look at for here, right, is the Trunks, because Trunks for Global came out on the January 1st of 2024. But if we go on the JP side, he was July 31st of 2023. You get where I'm going? So basically, he would be the newest unit that was on any of these banners. So this is pretty much the cutoff, is like the end of July. So for this year, the Tanabata celebration, being able to use the Memorial Stones, it looks like the cutoff is probably going to be Master Roshi, because where he came out October on Global, we can actually switch over here to the Japanese, July 31st, right? So he's basically going to be like the unit that's going to be like the most new on these banners, which, I mean, he is currently on the banner that's going right now too. I think, I mean, even the Fat Boo and Super Saiyan 3 are as well. So a lot of these guys are currently available. But if we look at like the list here, so if we go Master Roshi and we start working our way back, and again, this is the JP order of release, because that's kind of what we're going to be going off of. And then once we go into like the next year, I think it would be caught up, right? Or we'll still be like a little bit behind. I don't know. Maybe, no, we should be caught up, I believe, if I'm doing my time math right. So it'd be a little bit easier to kind of figure out what characters are going to be available for next year's banner. For now, we look at Master Roshi. We kind of work our way backwards. It's not going to have any like Dokkan Fest LRs on there, so the UI Goku would not be on there. We've got Goku Black, Fat Boo, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Topo's there, Vegeta is there, Frieza, and so on and so on. And like I said, you're not going to count these LRs. But yeah, so I mean, you just look at them and you just kind of go back in the timeline, and these are going to be like the characters that are going to show up on this banner. Those are going to be the characters that are going to be available in the Baba Shop for exchanging your Memorial Stones for. And that's just kind of like what you can look forward to. So if you look through your box, figure out what characters you're missing from that timeline, you can get a good idea of who you want to try to either A, pick up straight up with the Memorial Stone, or B, if you have all those characters or you don't really have a preference for anything, you can basically use those stones just to get these tickets and then just summon on these banners, right? And you get a choice. Like there's a big pool of characters here. So I mean, if you look at this, like it's huge. Like there are so many characters on these banners, it's wild. So like the chances of you pulling the exact one you want are going to be very, very low, as opposed to just going and picking up that character. Whereas like if you're just, you don't have a preference on anything, you kind of just want to summon and see who you can pull, maybe try to pull some of these older characters, you can definitely do that as well. I think for myself, I mean, I'm probably just going to do the tickets and then just summon on the banners. It's a little more fun, kind of figure out and you can pull other random stuff. I think that's might be my route, because I don't think there's anybody I'm really missing or anybody that I really care to buy, outright, because 150 of those is a lot. For some people, that's all of them. That's all you're going to get. So you really got to make your choice wisely. Again, we'll see this a little bit more once it actually drops in September. But yeah, until then, remember, until the 21st, your stone count is still going to be added towards how many Memorial Stones you're going to get for this year. I will also say that I do not recommend you to spend a bunch of stones just to try to get more Memorial Dragon Stones. It's not worth doing that. I'll tell you that right now. It's not worth doing that. Do not just blindly spend stones to try to get more of these to then pull one of these older units. It just doesn't make sense. So, especially when they show up on these like banners. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. I just kind of want to do a quick overview of the Memorial Dragon Stone, how you get it, what kind of stuff we could look forward to with it, when we might be seeing them come in. I imagine So September's going to be the new Tanabata. I'd imagine it's going to be like, they'll probably do like a reveal at the fan meetup. They're doing like the in-person live event September 6th. I imagine that's where they're going to do like the reveal of the characters, maybe show some animation stuff. Just kind of like how they do for anniversary, how they did for like 10th anniversary. They had the big fan meetup. They went on the big stage and they had, you know, they revealed the characters on the big stage and people got to see them and nobody applauded for Frieza and Goku. But I imagine they'll do something similar to that. So my thought is like the Tanabata banners probably go live either that day, the 6th, but it's a Saturday, or the 8th would be my guess. I'm also thinking that there's probably gonna be a Peppy Gal banner, or at least another something banner on the 18th. And then maybe another like Dokkan Fest or a Yellow Coin LR banner in the last week of August. That one's a little more iffy and up in the air, but I mean that does give us like the whole, you know, 2 weeks in between actual like big banners, as opposed to, you know, giving us the EX part, doing a Peppy Gal banner, and then waiting another like 3 weeks before we actually get anything else. So I imagine there'll be either a Dokkan Fest or a Yellow Coin LR or something like that on the last week of August, and that'll kind of ride us out to the new quote-unquote Tanabata celebration, where again we'll be able to use the Memorial Stones. Hopefully some cool stuff. Please be Daima. Please just be Daima. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of like guessing it. I just want it to happen so I can shut up and I can stop hearing myself complain. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video today. So if you guys stuck around to the end, I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know if you guys do know how many Memorial Stones you've gotten in the past. Let me know. If you guys have some sort of idea of how much you might be getting this year, let me know. Is there anybody specific from the pool of possible characters that you're specifically looking to pick up? Or are you just going to try to use these and go ahead and summon on the ticket banners, and what you get is what you get? Let me know. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya!